Welcome then to a new and fresh Hungarian 5 red lights. Lights out and away we go. They're on for a while. Hamilton gets away well. Tsunoda gets away even better though at the front here. And it's a good start. Hamilton dropping down already. Yuki Tsunoda to the inside at turn 1. Having a look. Ocon's also having a sniff of Max Verstappen in the background. 2x2x2, 4 wide in the background. And well, Lewis Hamilton just about profits. And Yuki Tsunoda up to second, Ocon up to third, but as we come through turn 2, it's all very processional, but Lewis Hamilton leads, Tsunoda in the background, Ocon up to third, past Verstappen, the championship leader, Norris up to fifth, and well in the background, you can see a few moves going on. Stroll, Albon and West side by side, that's very late, and well, West had to go off the track, and he'll have to get it back to Stroll at the same time, also Albon, sorry, as well. And well, that is... well, the way the cookie crumbles early in his first lap, everyone jostling position, trying to find a gap on the circuit. And Lewis Hamilton, though, leads the way as we come through onto the final sector now. Down towards turn 12 we go. A heavy braking zone, a heavy right-hander. But Lewis Hamilton, winner of 2 races in a row now. In Silverstone and Belgium, looking to make it 3 from 3. And well, Yuki Tsunoda looks like he's going to be the closest man to stop him. As we come off lap 1 then, Lewis Hamilton takes the lead with Tsunoda. Ocon in behind as well with Verstappen. Maybe looking and maybe trying to gain and maybe looking down the inside as we come towards turn 1. Not quite to be, not quite close enough for the 4-time world champion and our championship leader. Such a strong start, but Verstappen is... oh, and Norris almost had a look, but Verstappen wiser to it. You got to attack in front, but defend from behind. Well, if you look further back down the order then, West in 7th, ahead of Alex Albon and the other, Albon and Antonelli looking towards each other. Piastri in the background too, looking up the inside, but Albon holds position to Kimi Antonelli. And that will be that. At the front then, the Ferrari, 2 seconds now clear of the Red Bull Yuki Tsunoda. The highest Tsunoda's run, and actually qualified since Japan. It has been a long while since we last saw Yuki Tsunoda on the podium. But well, Esteban Ocon in the Haas as well today, doing an extraordinary job at qualifying as high as he did, and an even better race start in that Haas. In comparison to his compatriot, Oliver Behrman, down in 21st at the minute. Oh, George Russell also had a shocker, down in 18th. I think he had a poor qualifying also as well at the same time. But Esteban Ocon will now come under pressure from the 4-time world champion. Max Verstappen to the outside, and well, it wasn't quite to be that time. And oh, and I think West in the middle, down the inside on Pierre Gasly, up to P6 in the race then. And well, after taking an engine penalty this weekend, West now will have Lando Norris in his sights. Well, as we come down the back stretch up towards turn 4, keep it to the left, or keep it to the right, then flick to the left. All the speed he can take, he possibly can get all the way and straight through. Well, you can start to see almost like a breakaway group forming between Hamilton and Tsunoda, and they are slowly moving up. And well, there's green flags. I don't know who for, and I think it is Pierre Gasly who's out of the race and smoking. That's it. Race over Pierre Gasly. And well, that's incredibly unfortunate of the Frenchman in the top 6, I think, as well. Really unfortunate for Pierre Gasly. No safety car deployed, or virtual safety car either. So we will continue racing here. Hamilton coming onto lap 4, leading from Yuki Tsunoda. Esteban Ocon in behind, 4 seconds, and slowly dropping away off the front 2. Here comes Max Verstappen to the inside. Last of the late breakers. Ocon's trying to hold out on those hard tyres, but it might not be enough. Giving him a lot of space, Verstappen. And now, Ocon fighting back, even with that DRS, to the inside of turn number 2 on the racetrack. And well, loses now to Max Verstappen, and Verstappen back up in the podium positions after that poor start. And now Lando Norris will be Ocon's next man to defend from. And West also looking to the outside. You can see him having a look at the gearbox of Lando Norris. Well, you can already see the difference that Verstappen has made in just clear air. Nearly a second now, the gap, and West is really trying. He's getting a little bit wide as well in the background. I do love this part of the Hungarian ring. It's a nice sweeping section of corners. You've got to get them all right. Down the inside goes West on Lando Norris. That's late, and very, very late indeed. And I think he does get the move done. Norris is trying to keep a foot in. And that will just about be that. West up to 5th then, and now Ocon in his sights. And I'm sure he will go for a move down the backstretch here. But Esteban Ocon under pressure from West now, and looking towards the inside, looking in the background, Oscar Piastri and Lance Stroll getting past, and now down the inside we go. Norris also trying to have a look down around the outside of Esteban Ocon, and he might just sneak through for good measure. Here we go. And well, there we go. There we have it. Lando Norris up to P5 in the race. And well, West going deep, and now side by side between the two of them. West holds out, and now West will go to challenge the top 3. Hopefully, I might see a bit of a battle going on here today. Well then, lap number 5 then of the Hungarian Grand Prix. Lewis Hamilton 4.8 seconds ahead, and still trying to build a gap. He's done so brilliantly in recent races at trying to build healthy gaps, healthy leads. He's so experienced at doing this, and he does have a very quick car in the Ferrari this year. Well, this second half of the season has been very good for Ferrari, especially in the European rounds. And there's Yuki Tsunoda. There's the furthest rival back, the number 22 Red Bull. Well, Esteban Ocon down to 6th now. He's and Albon down 11th as well. He's been absolutely swamped. Well, Antonelli looking to the outside on Esteban Ocon, and Ocon defending it well again on the inside, but the traction on the outside from the top 4 teams is just too great, and Esteban Ocon falls down to 7th place. Andrea Kimi Antonelli up to 6th in the race. And well, he will have to chase down Lando Norris now in the McLaren. We're right on board with Kimi Antonelli as we come up the hill and up towards the chicane, a nice heavy braking zone. Of course, if Lewis Hamilton was to win here today, it would be, I believe, his 10th Hungarian Grand Prix win. We will have to see whatever Google says, I'll be honest with you. He has won 8 times, apologies, not 9 times. It'll be 9 times today if he triumphs here in Hungary. Well, we're not actually far from Budapest if you're feeling touristy. And well, West and Norris going at it now, and Norris pushed to the outside, but forces the inside he goes. And well, a few direction changes, but Ocon now on the inside. Oh, contact between Piastri and Ocon. It was a bit tight, but the two of them get through with a little bit of banging wheels, but only minor for Oscar Piastri as he looks to try and challenge West and Verstappen at the top of the championship. McLaren's still very much in this. They are still very much in the championship fight. Where do you stand when it comes to development of the car over the rest of the season? Remember, we've got 2026 coming up. New regulations. It's expected that I think Ferrari are going to stop their program in the next couple of races too. The last upgrades will be coming through. And that will be it for the season. We will have to see. But Red Bull and McLaren have certainly got a lot of catching up to do in terms of the pace of this Ferrari, especially Lewis Hamilton at the front. He's been there for the past 3 races. Ever since Silverstone, he's been right up there, and he's been really challenging for race wins. Every single attempt he's had. And well, Oscar Piastri now. Right, you can see Norris and West in the front here, but Oscar Piastri right on the back of Kimi Antonelli, pulls to the left-hand side, And well, Antonelli has the seed, and this time Oscar Piastri up into P6. He's done excellently to work his way up through the field, and now it's Ferrari, Red Bull and McLaren all in the top 6 and fighting together. So what does this mean then in terms of the championship? Well, West and Verstappen, remember, they need to... West wants the championship lead. He'll need to finish 2 spots ahead of Verstappen today, so will need to be P2 if he wants a good and healthy championship lead going into the Dutch Grand Prix next time out. Of course, that will be Verstappen's home race. He wants the... Of course, he'll want to keep the championship lead as you go into your home race. It's always a good psychological boost, but you've got a lot to think about on the table as Hamilton puts on the pressure. 75 points, nearly maximum all the races in the last 3 as it stands. Maybe there is an 8th world title on the horizon. Maybe it could be the year Lewis Hamilton secures his 8th world championship. Norris getting closer to West on the back, and well, there's not much to say in terms of McLaren. They are getting closer and closer to West, and it's almost like Norris has just tagged along for the ride. But remember, Verstappen's lead will be a lot greater as well. He had that non-finish in Imola. Well, West going very deep and trying to pick up all the traction he can as he goes through the section, but of course this will be the last time we see these cars of this regulation going round the Hungarian. 4 years of these ground effect cars, and now we move into the 2026, the active aerodynamics and manual override. What do you call it? It's the MOM system. It's going to feel weird next year not saying deploy the DRS, but deploy the MOM instead. But here we go then. Lando Norris, 3 tenths behind West now, and will be looking to put the charge on. Here we go. Out the final corner we come, getting closer, closer. West defends the inside, and tried to squeeze him now. Norris will have maybe, and they're dicing and dicing and dicing all over the shot down the back straight. And well, might that have been too many direction changes for West? Maybe you're allowed to defend once before it becomes very dangerous and illegal at the same time. Lando Norris still looking onto the back, and well, Norris is actually faster than Verstappen at this rate in the race. So with West now DRS range of the 4-time world champion, Norris is even closer to the back of West now. This is a sense of the speed you get through these corners. Flat the floor, a little bit of lift from Lando there. That's interesting. West can surely being fed Lewis Hamilton's lap times. It is strange to think that one Ferrari started so strongly and then the other is now right up there with and challenging for race victories. Here comes Norris, great exit coming out of the final corner. West tries to push him all the way over to the grass. Lando Norris, is he going to get the move done? West likes a late braking move. He might going to try and undercut down, not quite enough. West keeps the position this time, but well, he's a hard man to overtake, but at the same time, Lando Norris really needs to get past this Ferrari if he wants some more points. Norris is nearly effectively out of the championship hunt at this rate. He needs some big points on the board. He needs some race victories. Well, we probably should have a look and see in terms of Lando Norris. 5th in the championship currently, 30 points behind Lewis Hamilton from the last race in Belgium. Nearly 80 77 off Max Verstappen. Is it just maybe going to be the year that slips away again from Lando Norris? He was right up there last year with Verstappen, trying to challenge him, and sometimes it all went wrong. And well, West now with DRS on Verstappen. Managed to just get in the detection point, but Norris will be very pleased with that, I'm sure. And I think Kimi Antonelli into the pits. I think this will be a 2-stop today. Another set of medium tyres goes onto the Mercedes. Oh well, he will come out, I think, just behind Isaac. No, even further down, it will be Gabriel Bortoleto that he comes out behind. Well, Alex Albon, I think, has done a second stop. One of his first of 2 stops. So Gabriel Bortoleto also doing the same. So 2 stops for some of the teams today. Might it be something on Lewis Hamilton's mind? We'll have to see. If Lewis Hamilton was to finish as it stands today, he would jump Oscar Piastri and jump up to 3rd in the championship. Well, he would be really close to his teammate as well with a result here. Verstappen would still lead the championship. He'd be on 240 points. West, meanwhile, would be, I believe, I might be completely wrong, that's 234 points. And Norris still getting closer and closer again, but these 3 are... Oh, West, I think he clipped the back, and, well, Max Verstappen... Well, I don't know what came off, whether it was Ferrari bodywork or whether it was Red Bull. If we look out the back now of the Red Bull and Max Verstappen, you can see West is kind of snaking about a bit, isn't he? Maybe this might be a 2-stop for them here today. Well, West trying to give an inch. Get as close as he can to the 4-time world champion. Interesting lines through. 7 and 8, and Yuki Tsunoda, by the way, has, well, fallen off quite dramatically in comparison to Max Verstappen. And the pace might just be there, and the 2 Red Bulls, well, do you sacrifice Yuki Tsunoda? If you're on the Red Bull pit wall, you're Laurent Mekies, do you sacrifice Yuki Tsunoda's race to get them to fight West and Norris and let Verstappen through and have a challenge? And those 3 extra points in the World Championship might be quite significant when it comes to the end. But West still under pressure from Lando Norris, and really going to be under pressure again. We come towards turn 1, not quite to be this time. And well, that is a massive shame for Yuki Tsunoda if he is asked to move aside for Verstappen. Well, I think Nico Hülkenberg is pitting in the Sauber, or I think it might be Pearson Hülkenberg having a battle. Let's have a look down there. It is. And well, it is Hülkenberg and Pierce still trying it, and well, I think Hülkenberg has got the upper hand in the Sauber. And well, Hülkenberg has been scoring some points recently. 3 points in the Drivers' Championship, only 18th, but the only points that Sauber have scored all season. Bortoleto, of course, not scoring, and also I believe Isaac Hadjar, 15th of the minute, still not scored a point. It would be amazing if we saw all the drivers do score a point this year. Of course, Formula 1 can have any and all, but well, Yuki Tsunoda under pressure now from Max Verstappen, and will potentially, is it time for Verstappen to make a move on his teammate? Tsunoda pulls to the inside to defend, and now Max Verstappen, last of the late breakers, to the outside, and well, Westie's also trying to have a look, opens the door up to Norris. This is a 4-car battle for the second, and well, Verstappen is through, and now will Tsunoda try and defend? West is trying to sneak through as well, and well, Tsunoda defends it quite nicely. Verstappen now is released, and he can go maybe hunting after Lewis Hamilton. We're almost halfway through this Grand Prix, and well, West down the inside on Tsunoda. That was brave. Very, very brave on Yuki Tsunoda, and well, the defence didn't last for long, but will Tsunoda and Norris swap positions too? It's a horrible feeling, well, a horrible sinking feeling down the order if you've gone from second all the way down to fifth in the space of a lap. And well, Lando Norris is right on the back of Yuki Tsunoda, still really trying to fight. Well, through the final corners we go now, and well, Norris will pick up DRS, he will pick up, and I think West is boxing. He is boxing. So, early then, from the Ferrari, we're going to have a look at Tsunoda and Norris in a second, but West is boxed. Tsunoda under pressure then from Lando Norris in the McLaren, throws it right to the left-hand side, and well, Norris will try and pinch Tsunoda all the way to the inside, gets a better exit on the outside. Norris up to P3, but not for long potentially. And well, West has booted on. I think it's the hards. You can only assume he's going to go to the end.
One stop to go. Just one stop left in this strategy.
And well, you can see Hayes and Hulkenberg in the background, just ahead of. Oh no, sorry, Pierce and Hulkenberg in the background. But West comes out in 10th. He will now have to try and fight his way up through the field on these fresher tyres. I don't think it's ideal for Ferrari. He's behind Hayes, but well, Lance Stroll and Carlos Sainz. 7th and 8th for the minutes, and well, potentially battling it out for a bit longer in this race. It's high for Aston Martin, who's only scored 1 point so far this season. And well, Carlos Sainz is looking to break into the top 10. He's got Pierre Gasly 7 points ahead of him in the championship, and I'm sure with Gasly's DNF today, it would be a big opportunity. And well, I think that is Verstappen into the pits, and I feel as if Norris is going out as well. Hamilton stays out, so he's going to do another lap on those mediums. It's a good stop from the Red Bull crew. Piastri in the background, you can see. Hard tyres on the McLaren too. Whereabouts is West then? Coming out of the final corner, Verstappen. I think this might be quite tight between the two. There's Verstappen, there's West. Is it going to be a dogfight coming out of the pits for Max Verstappen? Not quite to be. West, though, piling on the pressure on the world champion. So then, will Lewis Hamilton then box this lap? He's got 18 seconds to Lando Norris, and he also needs to stop. Tsunoda, I think, needs to stop too, off the top of my head. So those top 5 won't stay the same. He will drop back down the order, but it's always refreshing seeing carve all the dirt. It does spoil the liveries, but well, Max Verstappen will be really feeling the pressure now from West and behind. 6 points the gap in the championship. It'd have his lead cut if West was to outscore him today. Well, I think Lewis Hamilton has gone on for a set of hard tyres. Lando Norris in for another set too. Verstappen and West have absolutely blitzed past Norris. And well, West to the inside. That's very deep, late on the brakes. And he gets 2nd place in the race net. That's a brilliant move from West. Verstappen didn't see it coming. It was a very, well, Verstappen-esque dive bomb, to be honest. But Verstappen still trying to fight it, and almost has a swipe at West there. And well, Verstappen's still going to try and put the pressure on. West is really trying to throw the car through these set of corners. And well, maybe Verstappen will be a bit disappointed with that, letting West pass, but we'll have to see a bit further down the line. But well, it means West will have second. So there's another Ferrari 1-2 in the race. For, well, nearly a 1-2 last time out if it wasn't for contact between West and Hamilton. Maybe a flashpoint in a World Championship that could play into their hands a bit later. Esteban Ocon still on the hard tyres and still going in this race, but you can see behind West and Verstappen still trying to catch Esteban Ocon and maybe jump ahead in the race as well. Lando Norris and Piastri P5 and P6. Tsunoda down to 7th now. It's been a horrible day for him, you might say. And well, Jack Doohan up into 10th as well. I think that might be a... I think Doohan is one of our hard tyre runners, and yes, he is one of our hard tyre runners. I think he'll be stopping momentarily, but Lance Stroll blitzing round the outside, and Aston Martin, a brilliant move from Lance Stroll. Uncharacteristic from the Canadian, but a very good move nonetheless around the outside of Jack Doohan. And Carlos Sainz will now be thinking about having a move on the Alpine. I think West has got past Esteban Ocon very quickly on track, and well, that is a nice move. However, it was performed, and Ocon into the pits, releasing Verstappen behind, and well, he can now still go and attack West in the Ferrari. 12 seconds the gap between Hamilton and West, and I'm sure that will probably either increase or decrease depending on how they want to control the race. But Norris and Piastri up 4th and 5th, and I think that might be day done. Good stop from Esteban Ocon, and onto the medium tyres he goes. Well, Ollie Behrman on the hard tyre, and I think it will be next lap. Oh, this is going to be tight. Stroll down the inside on Ollie Behrman. The rookie Brit, had to back out a bit because he didn't want to get involved in Esteban Ocon's party. And Lance Stroll up to P9, Antonelli in P7 by the way as well. He's having a good race too. It's been a while since we've seen Antonelli score points. He's not had many point scoring opportunities. He had a podium in China, of course. No, he's not scored a point since Belgium. Well, last time out, so there's 6 points in the past. Oh, he's had a very dry spell. I think he's not scored a point. Well, Belgium was the last point scoring opportunity since Monaco. I believe he finished 8th in that race. Well, Kimi Antonelli then a good season though for him, and well, George Russell down in 15th at the minute in the Mercedes. We'll have a look a bit further down. Here he is, George Russell. Well, he's had a momentarily he's had an interesting season so far. 2nd place in China, 4th in Imola, of course, and well, a podium at Silverstone too, and another 4th in Belgium as well. He's been up there. He is really starting, I think, maybe to placed on the wrong strategy, a poor qualifying as well. It really plays into the factors and into the hands. George Russell, though, right on the back of Sonny Hayes, looking to make his move up through the field. We'll ride on board with him. We go up through the hill. Round turn 4 and up to 5 and 6, the chicane. Hayes doesn't seem to be feeling the pressure. He's been point scoring at every opportunity for APX GP. They've had a very good Constructors' Championship position as well so far this season. Well, it's been a very, very exciting time, I think, over at Mercedes. They've been having glowing reports about their 2026 engine, their 2026 package with the new regulations. Well, Ocon and Antonelli trading places, and Ocon passing Kimi Antonelli and getting up to 7th place on those fresh medium tyres. Antonelli, not much he can do about that. Well, let's have a look a bit further at the field then. Max Verstappen, you can see, chasing West down. He's staying within the second gap, but we need to see. Comes down towards the main straight. Lewis Hamilton though, lap 23, and he is enjoying a life out the front. 15 seconds clear, and I think he'll be probably enjoying the comforts of a 3rd race win of the season on the cards. Weston Verstappen though, still maybe having a battle. West a little bit wide out of turn 1, but it was okay. Verstappen though really looking and having a sneak maybe down the inside. Verstappen getting ever closer to the back of West, and it's still going. Antonelli I think is in the pits again for, and this will be for the hard time. Of course he's on a 2-stop strategy, but the two up here, Verstappen and West, the 2 championship rivals, will they come to blows again? It happened in Japan. It happened a while back as well. West has generally been in the wars this year. If he has been a bit cleaner, he would be maybe higher in the championship. But it's what we all love here at Formula 1. It's a bit of a battle, and Verstappen down the inside. West goes deep. And well, now Verstappen will have it all to defend, going back down the main straight again. Will he have DRS? Did he nick DRS off him? No, he hasn't. West will then have to fight back. And now, as we come towards turn 1, Verstappen going to be under pressure. West pulls to the inside again. Down we go, and a nice last late break as Verstappen, well, it was quite easy and quite simple maybe for Verstappen to defend that one. But West gets past nice and easily. Well, Lewis Hamilton though, this is really helping him because it's extending his gap, extending his lead. He could still win the race if he pulled out a bit more. He could have another stop if anything was to go wrong, so it's a very, very safe position for Lewis Hamilton to be in. Lando Norris though, in the meantime, has caught back up to the pair of West and Verstappen. So, might he finally mean a bit of business, Lando Norris and the papaya? Verstappen and Norris still getting closer still to West. And might we have a magic moment on our hands potentially this afternoon? Verstappen still going and still looking to try. Norris also in the background, you can see, and Verstappen will pull to the inside. West doesn't try to fight it this time. Norris also having a cheeky look. Well, almost had a look at Verstappen, but it wasn't quite to be. West goes very wide out the corner, and now Verstappen will have it once again to the outside of turn 2. West defends it, but now Norris will be getting ever closer. Verstappen, oh, swipe across the rear wheels of West, and that'll leave him vulnerable now to the papaya. Here comes Norris. And up the hill we go. Turn 5 on the racetrack. Up to 6 and 7. I got it wrong earlier. Need to memorise more of my track maps. Here's Norris, though, right on the back and right on the gearbox of Max Verstappen. West is trying to break free and get clear. But 10 laps to go here at the Hungarian, and well, the gap between Hamilton and West is 20 seconds. Verstappen and Norris in behind, fighting for the podium and for second place too. And well, it would really help if Max Verstappen was up there at the next race. And well, Verstappen and West fighting, and West is bypassed completely by Verstappen. Tries the inside again and does quite get the move done this time, Norris. And West has to go wide again, I think to avoid Verstappen. And they fight back, but well, Verstappen pushed all the way wide, and well, Norris trying to sneak through, not quite enough, but Verstappen back out to P2. West is trying to fight it still, they're dicing, and look who's joining the background, Oscar Piastri too. West to the outside, moves inside, and well, what a brilliant move that was from the Ferrari. Red Bull and Papaya once again fighting it out in the background. This has brought a four-way fight for second place, with 9 to go here at the Hungarian. And well, Yuki Tsunoda at this rate, if they're any slower, then well, Yuki Tsunoda could throw themselves into the hat, into the ring. But this is shaping up to be a very, very exciting World Championship. We've got 2 rounds left of the European season, the Dutch and the Italian Grand Prix. Then we go across to Asia, Azerbaijan and Singapore. And then United States, Mexico, Sao Paulo, Las Vegas and Qatar. And then the finale in Abu Dhabi. Will we see a big title fight in the final few races? Verstappen trying to get past West to the outside. West's going to push him all the way. And well, Norris, through he goes. And well, Piastri also. Well, Verstappen's trying to hold out. West keeps it there and does get by. But Lando Norris sneaks through. And well, this could be a big changing moment because West's now going to have to go and get Norris back down again. Fantastic work from Lando Norris. He snuck all the way through. West had to cut the curl corner. I think he went deep. But Max Verstappen completely surprised, tried to hold out, but Norris just snuck through on the inside of turn 2. And well, that was absolutely brilliant from Lando Norris. Probably one of the overtakes of the season, that as well. But Lando Norris, though, will now be under pressure from the Ferrari once more. 7/10 the gap is Norris. He's looking towards the inside. West is going to do last late breakers again. Is it going to be too deep? It is going to be too deep. Norris gets it back, but West will have DRS once more as we come up towards turn 2 again. West to the inside, well, trying to push Norris all the way. He might do. It's a very, very tight squeeze, but Norris still keeping an inch. And well, that would have been front wing gone if Norris decided to try for that move. At 25 seconds the gap. I think Hamilton might be safe in knowing that he's won this race with this many laps to go, but the action's still raging on for who will decide the podium. It's going to be West, Norris, Verstappen or Piastri filling the final 2 spots. It will have to wait and find out. 7 laps to go here at the Hungarian Grand Prix. Here at Magyar Nagy in Budapest. And Norris, West gets a poor exit, but Norris is slowed up almost by West defence, and there's Hamilton in the background. There's a shot for you. And Lando Norris, well, West will have to defend this one. Let's have a look on the back of the gearbox. Norris to the outside, trying it. Will Verstappen try it too? Not quite to be. Well, Verstappen holding out. Norris is going to be pushed all the way again. Well, Oscar Piastri hasn't really made a move at all once. West defends the inside again. Well, the magic is 2 of them in this race. This would be huge for Lando Norris if he could get 2nd place off West today. And well, I think West went very wide going into the corner. Norris trying to sneak around the outside, holding it out, pushed all the way. And well, to the chicane we go. And Lando Norris triumphs over the Ferrari once more. But there is swapping and changing. It's like a kart race all over again. All of these drivers going through karting, it's just like karting all over again for them. Swapping and changing positions. Absolutely marvellous. Well, 5 laps to go at the line. Might we see someone try to break away? Well, West is close to the gearbox of Lando Norris. 6/10 the gap. DRS open, and he's getting closer, gaining ever so slowly. And well, West does make the dive, and well, is it going to be enough? I think so, ever so slightly. And well, Lando back down to 3rd position then. Verstappen and Piastri almost lurking in the background of this battle here between the two Brits. And well, I'm sure West will just want to foot flat to the floor at this point and just gun it and go straight for a gap. Keep 2nd place secure, keep the 1-2 nice and safe. We'll have to wait and see. Well, Norris is... Well, this will be his first podium, I think, if I do the maths correctly. Lando Norris... Well, I think his first podium... I'm really trying to find this here. His first podium since Austria. Off the top of my head. And he won in Canada too. Podium in Imola as well. Well, Oscar Piastri in the background. You can see Piastri looking to the outside on Max Verstappen. It's going from bad to worse for Max. To the outside, holding a foot in. And DRS still open though for Oscar Piastri. Will he sneak down the inside? Not quite to be this time on the 4-time world champion. Well, a lot of people I haven't seen. I don't think we've seen the best of Oscar Piastri this season. In terms of fighting for... Well, the second half of this season, we haven't really seen Oscar Piastri right up there. Of course, 5th place in Belgium and Silverstone, and he's not been on the podium since Monaco. To put that into perspective, despite winning the Belgian Grand Prix sprint. Well then, 4 laps to go here at the Hungarian. Lewis Hamilton leads the way, nearly a 30-second gap now, and well, you can see West and Norris looking to go to battle once again. Looking down the main straight, West will defend the inside and pulls to the inside to try and take the slipstream away off Lando. Lando to the outside, tries it. Piastri in the background, trying one on Max Verstappen too. The inside this time, and well, West does not get past. West does kind of hold position to Lando Norris. Piastri to the outside though this time on Max Verstappen, holding. Pushed all the way to the outside. Oscar Piastri, sorry, gets it completely done. And Max Verstappen has dropped from 2nd to 5th. Papaya back ruling on the podium again. Well, that is a telling. Maybe in terms of pace that we've had so far this weekend. Ferrari 1-2, McLaren 3-4, Red Bull 5-6. Maybe that is a telling tale of how this season might end up. Of course, we've got the Dutch Grand Prix next, don't miss that. Hopefully you're going to absolutely love it when you see Max Verstappen's orange army in the stands. And well, Piastri, he's right on the back of, well, Norris now and West. This could be quite greedy. Maybe potentially Norris down the inside. West is going to last the late breakers again and defend it, and all push to the inside. It's almost squeezed, and West has run wide at the exit. I'll argue he did hold position, but Well then, Papaya, I think, want more from this race, and I think they could get it. West under pressure from the two McLarens, and well, look at West tyres, they're shot. Norris to the inside of the chicane, and well, tries it, doesn't get it done, gets squeezed. West has to go deep. And well, this is, well, there is a point where it does drive away from defence. And well, Yuki Tsunoda has now joined the party, so it will be Ferrari, McLaren, Red Bull, all vying for second position in the race. Well, the last time we saw a 5-car battle like this, it was Japan, and that was for the race win. And Yuki Tsunoda did try from that. Papaya fighting each other again. Will the rules be in play? Oscar Piastri up to P3 in the race, and Lando Norris falls down. I think they're going to let the drivers race. But I'm pretty sure, well, I wouldn't be surprised if Lando asked that position back on the next lap. And to let... Oh, well, Oscar's already made quite a nice gap to the two of them. Well, as we go around turn 5 and up the hill, the two Red Bulls then, it's been a not so great day. Started second and third, but they've dropped down from the field with Ferrari and McLaren's pace. It might be another Ferrari and McLaren Constructors' Championship fight this season. And well, Verstappen is slowing up quite dramatically actually as well. And Piastri is going on the chase of West. But Lewis Hamilton then, he's had a brilliant day, hasn't he? No one led from start to finish, no one challenged him. And well, you might consider this a Grand Slam 2 of a fastest lap. An excellent, excellent race from Lewis Hamilton. He's run it his way. And well, the 7-time world champion will close the gap on the front three in the World Championship. Piastri will be jumped. Verstappen and West will have their leads slashed with this victory here today. I think West will also take the championship lead. Off the top of my head, that will be a big moment. But Lewis Hamilton rounding the last few corners here in Budapest. He's won 8 times here before. He's going to be a 9th now. Lewis Hamilton, for his 3rd race win in a row, wins the Hungarian Grand Prix. A brilliant day for Lewis and for Ferrari too. And well, Ferrari are really slowly starting to become a dominant force in the European circuits. West and Piastri though coming close to the line. Norris in the background, Verstappen and Tsunoda there too. Will Oscar Piastri maybe sneak down the inside, maybe one last gap, one last move? This could be a dramatic moment. And West, I think, goes deep, and Norris and Piastri's going to be there. Piastri steals on the line. It's second for Oscar Piastri. West made the mistake, and he will fall down to 3rd. But Lewis Hamilton is your winner here today. Oscar Piastri jubilant in the cockpit. But Norris, Verstappen and Tsunoda round out the top 6. But Lewis Hamilton is your race winner here in Hungary today. Well, as they say, three's company. Lewis Hamilton with another victory this season for Ferrari, and what a brilliant day it was for him, finishing so far ahead of the field. Oscar Piastri pipped West on the last corner to get 2nd place, West in 3rd then. And to round off the day then, a fantastic day for Lando Norris too, getting some big points. Lance Stroll as well, points to the Aston Martin in 8th. Carlos Sainz in 9th. George Russell rounds out the top 10. Hamilton, Piastri, West, Norris, Verstappen, Tsunoda, Ocon, Stroll, Sainz and Russell is your top 10 here in Hungary. Looking at the World Championship then, well, Max Verstappen has his points gap narrowed to just 1. West and Verstappen then, it's all going to be interesting going next into Zandvoort. But Piastri, level on points now with Lewis Hamilton after 3 wins in a row. And well, no change between 5th and 10th. But it could all change when we next go to the Dutch Grand Prix at Zandvoort.